Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Boozy Botanical podcast. My name is Holly.
And I'm Angelique.
And we have a very, very fun episode for you guys today. I'm so excited.
I'm excited too, because you guys, this is not an everyday Boozy episode. We've got another guest episode for you, which we're really excited about. We've got Cam from @Market Botany on TikTok and Instagram. You know him very well, I'm sure. Cam's wonderful. And I'm really excited for this episode because you guys, we literally just recorded it. It was so much fun. We laughed so much. We learned a lot. Like, this was a very education heavy episode. If you're looking to start a business, you need to listen to this. It was so much fun hearing Cam's perspective and just like learning.
And he's so generous with information too. So you guys are gonna really benefit.
Like, it hurt to stop. Like, we were on a roll and it was just like, oh man, you guys, we're at time. But like,
we could have gone another hour.
I'm not even joking. We probably could have and wouldn't even have felt the time pass. It was such a fun conversation. Cam is wonderful and has some exciting announcements that you'll hear about on this episode, which is really cool.
Yes.
And, oh my God. I'm so excited and I can't wait to just like hear your guys' reaction because I feel like this is a really good one, you guys.
It really is. So you guys, let's welcome Cam to the podcast.
Enjoy.
Well, hello, Cam.
Hello. Hi. I'm so excited to be here.
Welcome to the Boozy Botanical podcast. We're so happy to have you.
This is so exciting.
Such a long time coming.
I know it.
I feel like we've been in chats, just like becoming friends online for so long. And like over a year, I would say at least. And then it's now like finally coming to fruition. And I'm so excited.
I feel like for a lot of us in the like plant talk, like internet plant community, like finally our friendships are like evolving to that point. They're becoming more like concrete, you know? It's really cool though.
It's so true because I feel like after you keep seeing people either on your For You page or just like interacting, you're like, wow, we've known each other a while, and then it feels even longer because you know, going through a whole pandemic essentially together, you know, it's like wow. But we are so excited to have you today, Cam.
Well, thank you for having me, for real.
We always ask our guests, what are you drinking? So do you have any drinks to share with the class?
Okay, well, I am very thirsty. So I have an almost finished bottle of water. I just opened this red Gatorade because I was running around outside chasing frogs. And this, I like something boozy, you know, because it is, like 10:30 in the morning, but I have a Sierra Nevada Sunny Little Thing.
I haven't seen that one. I love that can. It's really cute. It's like yellow and orange for those who are listening. And it's like splotchy and fun and kind of makes me think of the early 2000s.
Citrus wheat ale. Yum.
You know what it reminds me of?
It sounds good.
It reminds me of Saturday morning cartoon commercials.
Oh my gosh, like Nickelodeon.
Sunny D.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. This, I have to be honest though, this has been in my fridge, lonely beer since the 4th of July. So I want to get like a really good soundbite of like cracking it.
We're ready.
Are you ready?
Yep. Yeah. Oh, nice.
ASMR moment.
He knows our style. Cam knows.
Well, I'm gonna give one right back to you, Cam, because I've got a Polar cranberry lime seltzer that's going to be my mixer today. I don't know if you've listened to the pod recently, but as of like the last month or two, we've been playing Bag of Tricks. So I have a bag of tricks, and I'd have to see what's it called? What shooter I pull out.
Shooters. I heard you guys talking about the shooters, and it sounds terrifying.
It is.
There's been a fireball in there for a month, and a mezcal tequila, and I'm like, when is it gonna happen?
Is that all that's left in there?
No, there's a few UV vodkas. It's really weird. And then we'll see. So I'm just gonna jump in really quick, Holly.
Do it.
All right.
You said that's cherry flavored.
So this is cranberry lime flavored.
That sounds
so it could go either way. If with vodka, I think we'll be okay.
Basically a vodka cran if you pulled vodka. Let's see.
Oh my God. Josh went on a bike ride. Thank God. Okay.
That sounds nice in the microphone too. The pouring sound.
That really did.
I'm literally a star. Okay.
Star.
All right.
Let's see. And the winner is.
And I'm trying not to cheat because the fireball is the only one that's not shaped normal.
Oh, true.
Big grab.
You got
I
fireball.
I could feel it. I could feel like the vomit coming up.
No. Okay, so you know how you said how Cam said it's 10:30 in the morning, guys?
Yes.
It's 7:30 on the Pacific Coast.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
That'll wake you up.
You guys,
like
we've been anticipating the fireball for a while. It was bound to catch up with me. All right, let's ASMR this one. Hold on.
Do you have a... Oh, there you go.
Oh, it's a little one.
I
have
bad memories.
I think we all have bad memories when it comes to fireball.
That should be their slogan. Tastes like bad memories.
Like bad memory.
You want to regret your childhood? Drink fireball. Okay,
yeah, no.
Your childhood?
It's just, it looks wrong. Like what you're doing just looks...
It looks
I'm not. Okay, you guys, I'm not a full-on animal. I'm only doing half because, again, it's 7:30 in the morning and I got up at 7. So, like,
I don't know why I can smell it from here. On the other
all the way from the East Coast.
The problem with fireball is that I find a comfort to the smell, and then I remember all the mistakes. You know what I mean?
It gets you, and then it gets you in the bottom of the belly. You know?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Shall
enjoy
we?
it. Yeah.
Do it.
Cheers.
Just a little cheers.
I feel like I'm literally walking the plank right now.
Oh.
Okay, cheers. Okay.
You got this. You got this.
Okay.
How was it?
Okay, hold on.
Not bad.
I think we broke it. I think we figured out what might work for fireball.
Dilute.
It's not that bad. Maybe the bubbles are doing it because I've never had bubbly fireball.
Right?
But like, so you get the fireball cinnaminess first, followed by cranberry, and it ends with like the lime kick a little bit. And it's weirdly not, I guess, because cinnamon, like the cinnamoniness of fireball is kind of sweet. So you're going from sweet to a little less sweet to tart.
Yeah.
So now you're having a muffin. That's what you've just like.
Cranberry muffin.
I guess I am. It feels like it's gonna give me a headache though in a little bit. Like I don't like.
Yeah.
Well,
do you have backup of just the mixer? Because you do a dress rehearsal today too, so we don't want you too crunk.
Yeah.
Although maybe I have.
For those of you who've been listening, Cabaret. Is today Wednesday? Today's Wednesday. I open tomorrow in North Hollywood, so. It's my first musical. I'm very excited.
Congratulations. That's insanely
Thank you so much. Thank you. So it's our final dress today, and it's really cool because are you familiar with the show? It's okay if you're not.
No.
Oh,
I'm not.
All good. So if you ever, obviously there's like the movie with Liza Minnelli, but then there's the stage version. It's just like the stage version. It's a little different, but we have the theater we're using is like it's called a 3/4 thrust. So it's like imagine like a semicircle with the back where like the back of the stage is flat like a standard stage, and then you have everywhere where it's rounded has audience, but it's such an intimate theater that like I can pretty much touch the audience on stage, and we've on top of that added cocktail tables to the stage because it's set in a nightclub. So if you pay an upcharge, you get to sit at those cocktail tables and be part of our set.
Part of the show, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and by choosing those upgraded seats, you consent to like club rules, so you're allowed to get touched by us in the club. So I'm one of the girly dancers. So that's really exciting and terrifying and like cool. I don't know. It's going to be a lot of fun, but to help us get accustomed to having people in those seats, we have people coming for free to like preview the show. So that's tonight. So
what do they call that?
I can't get too drunk.
What is the first show called? Doesn't it have a name? Or like
opening
dress rehearsal or opening night?
I feel like opening night with the first night. Certain shows do like previews, which is kind of what we're doing today. But previews are for like bigger companies where like press comes in and can talk about it before the show like opens. This is our final dress. So we're gonna be in full costumes, full makeup.
I feel like I'm thinking of a word like decoupage, but that's not it. You know, there's like a word for like decoupage. It means covering it in glue, but that is not.
that feels like this show for sure.
Right.
It's definitely been covered in glue.
I'll look it up and get back to you.
Please. Well, Holly,
congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Yay.
Well,
and I'm drinking coffee.
I'm gonna get dizzy. Lucky. I love how Cam and I were like, all right, we're doing this early in the morning. Let's get to it. Holly's like, you guys are dumb. I'm gonna have coffee.
Well, the thing that I feel bad is like I think you guys did that somehow to please me. Because I know Angelique, you're like, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna do my best for Holly, and I'm just like, girl, I'm
wow. So like, even when we're not on air, I'm telling Holly like I'm gonna do my best, and she's like,
nodding, smiling. Yeah.
Well, give us the notes. What's the coffee you're drinking?
Okay, this is actually really good. First of all, the cup. Look at how cute. It's Marie from Aristocats.
I love Aristocats.
No. And then and then the coffee is, what is it? Medium roast from Starbucks. Poured over ice with the, I think the brand is called Oatly, but it's their oat milk creamer and it's pumpkin spice.
It is.
Oh my god, that's right. It's back.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, it's back, and my soul is alive and happy now that it's getting here. So
that's amazing.
I'll admit it. I'm that basic bitch. You know, it's fine.
Holly, I'm here for it. You're doing your thing. You're owning it, and that's what matters. You know.
Yes.
We've all got a little bit of basic bitch in us.
You have to.
Yeah.
And if you don't, like, figure it out, you know?
Figure it out.
Well, Cam, hello. Welcome once again. So excited. So Holly and I were chatting, and we really wanted to get into one, whatever you want to talk about. But two, we have a few questions for you.
We do.
And the first thing, so because Holly definitely keeps up with TikTok a little bit more than I do. She's like my TikTok rep. She like screens everything for me, and then I watch what I need to watch. She's
That's
like
really nice. That's really.
Oh my god, everyone should have one for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Angelique doesn't even go on her For You page. She just spends an hour.
I don't know what a For You page is.
Direct messages that I've sent her. It's a really personalized. Bad. No, it's a personalized For You page, but it's in like your Instagram? Messages, and they're all sent from me. Cam knows what I'm talking about.
I know. He looks angry, you guys.
How dare you, Angelique?
Literally.
I'm so sorry. I do find TikTok hilarious. So this year I've been learning how to set boundaries. I'm trying to grow. So I don't have my notifications turned on for TikTok. So I go like on like once a week, which sounds insane. I know. And that's when I have 35. It's so nice. Well, so I was able to nip TikTok in the bud. Like it didn't work. I didn't try this with Instagram, Facebook, nothing else, but TikTok came on late enough in my social media journey that when it came out, I was like, never turning that on. So
my gosh.
So I just got really lucky. So like, I don't miss it that much. Like I go on once a week. I have 35 messages from Holly, 15 from my cousin. Those are my two friends.
So TikTok to you is your DMs. With
literally.
That's what I'm saying. Yes,
and but everyone hates me for it. They're like, Angelique, you've posted 2 videos and you have 12 followers.
I think you just need to watch more so you can get my jokes. But thank God you knew what the corn song was. That's all I wanted to know.
So good.
Because of the whole corn situation, I in my subscription boxes this month like did a corn like seed growing kit.
Yeah, no, you didn't.
Yeah, where's that? I have a thing.
Go grab one.
It's literally an arm's reach. So this is what the front of this seed packet looked like, and it literally says it's corn packed with knobs. 100% got the juice, and then in the background it's like a bunch of beautifuls. I don't know if you can see if it's gonna like.
Oh, I do.
I see it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
Like, wow. Juicy.
I just love it when people lean into what's happening in current events. Like I also nanny on the side, and the kid's mom is in marketing, but for the TV and film industry. And I've told her about like when like the Minion. I know TikTok a little bit. Like when the Minions thing happened, everyone's wearing suits and stuff. Like, by the way, if you have not seen, I'll send it to you. People were just like going to the new Minions movie in suits with bananas in their pocket and then raging, like dance raging during the film, and the numbers skyrocketed. And it was insane. See, that's my niche of TikTok. Is like, what are people doing in the theater?
Banana rage.
Right, but she was like, I guess, so Universal did Minions. Long story short, they like eventually just embraced it and like talked about it and like made it a thing because theaters were stressed out. They were trying to like shut down the movie, but they leaned into it from a marketing perspective and it just like it blew
BYOB.
up.
Bring
There
your own
we
Bring
go.
your
banana.
own banana.
Hello. And that's what you're doing with corn. I love it.
Yes. So
Literally.
all that to say, I think Angelique was getting at, I follow
Please.
you. I keep up more with TikTok a little bit. So going into the first question, Cam, on your TikTok, you've shared about your journey with plants, but going from you used to be a chef and I think you worked on a cruise ship. And yeah, for our listeners, can you tell us just, I guess, your journey on like where it began and how you fell in love with plants?
It literally just gave me like goosebumps that you knew that much, because sometimes I
She's
feel
no
like
joke, this one.
I feel like I repeat myself a lot, and we have to do that when we're like trying to get new people into the community.
Yeah.
Introducing ourselves constantly is important, but to know that anybody knows
No,
those
it's
details is really
inspiring.
exciting.
Absolutely.
Aw.
For
It's
sure.
working.
Yeah, it's working. But yeah, I'll definitely tell you just briefly about like how I got into it and like a little bit about
Please.
why plants, right? Because
Right.
the jump from food to plants seems kind of obscure, but it really has made a lot of sense to me.
Mhm.
I grew up in nature, like immersed in nature, total island boy. I'm from this little island on the border of Mexico, right off the coast of South Texas, called Sao Padre Island, where my dad,
Wow.
yeah,
That is
my
so
dad's
cool.
a fishing guide and like hunting guide in the cooler months, and my mom worked for Columbia Sportswear. So like two
Okay.
ends of the spectrum of like
Oh my
nature related
God.
careers, like super commercial, like in, you know, like corporate level nature related, but then also like
Sure.
super close down in the dirt and in the salt water, you know.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And so understanding that there's a possibility for a career in nature, right? And just being in a small town. But then I moved to Florida in middle school and through high school, and found out that I really loved art and stuff, and like
Yeah.
anything creative, which led me to being a chef, because having an appreciation for, you know, fruits and vegetables and a respect
Oh,
for
100%.
animals like really drew me to that, and being able to use my creative passions there too. So I went to
Yeah.
culinary school in Miami.
Wow. You did the whole thing.
Yeah, I did the whole
So
thing.
you're
That is
like, we're talking to a
amazing.
professional right now.
I would actually
Yes.
say that above my plant stuff, I would say more confidently that I'm more professionally a chef than
That's
I
so
am
cool.
a plant guy.
I
Very
love that. Oh,
I
cool.
please continue. I love chef stories in particular. I know it's very specific, but I really like chef stories.
You know, and I tried the social media stuff like for my chef work for the
Yeah.
entirety of the time that I was cooking professionally. It never really took off other than locally, you know, like anything I was doing
Right.
locally. And I did move around to a couple cities, especially after school. I went and worked in South Texas again, but then worked in Atlanta, and ended up becoming a head chef of a wine bar in Atlanta for like 2 years. But then right as the pandemic was hitting, and I'm telling you, I was about to leave on this trip to go where it was actually a private yacht, not a cruise ship. So
Oh, I'm
so think
sorry.
big
Got
boat,
it.
but much smaller, you know, like
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
big boat,
ooh,
not cruise
yes.
ship, but
Got it.
private
Got
yacht.
it.
It was
Got it.
a
Sorry.
201-foot.
More expensive.
Yeah,
We're bougie.
not for me, like for the
Well,
people
the
on the boat,
guests.
you know, like
Right, right.
but
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I remember the day before I was going to leave, I went to Walmart to get like some toiletries and stuff to take with me. It was a 75-day trip. And uh,
Wow.
Wow.
seriously,
2.5 months.
there was people wearing masks, and I hadn't heard anything on the news yet. And I said, something's weird, you know, like
Something.
something's weird. And I got about 2 weeks into the trip, and we started seeing stuff on the satellite
Oh,
news.
you left.
Yeah, I left. I was in the Bahamas. And
Oh, way to
yeah,
start
Wow.
it, you know?
seriously, I was terrified seeing stuff on the news, you know, like seeing stuff all over the news
In real
about
time.
martial law back when they were talking about that, and only having certain times where I had
Mhm.
connection to my family because we were out in the open water, like we had no service or anything.
Right.
So I was just imagining
Right.
what it could be. So eventually the guests got so scared that they were like, we're done. And a bunch of us who were working as the crew got on a dinghy, like a little inflatable boat, and got
I know.
driven to the like big like Nassau, and we were able to get the last flight to the U.S. and I flew to Fort Lauderdale.
Oh my
And
gosh.
the pilot actually flew us at like super low because he wanted to fly us over where all of the cruise ships were tied together out in the middle of the water because they had nowhere to port because nobody could. They had them just tied up together, hundreds of them like anchored together. It was the craziest. There was only 3 of us on the flight. I have pictures from it. It was ridiculous.
What happened to everybody else?
There was nobody flying to America.
Oh, but like, why were there only 3 of you on the plane? Wasn't there more people on the yacht?
There was only 3 of us of the staff wanted to go home. The rest
I understand.
I could have stayed, but with international travel ban, I would have been stuck there. I would have been paid, but I was freaking out like I need to get to my
quarantined
family.
on a yacht forever.
Yeah. And for we didn't know how long at that point,
No,
totally. There was no guarantees.
So I ended up flying into Fort Lauderdale and then which I had to spend the night in, but I was living in Atlanta because I had just left that job,
Right.
And had what was supposed to happen was it was supposed to line right up with the end of my lease and I was going to move back to where I am now. But then I had a whole month and a half or so where I had nothing to do and no job. And so when I got home over that 2-week period, all of my roommates had downloaded TikTok. And
yes.
And I was like, this is stupid. And then one of them went viral and I got competitive. And the first video I posted got 100,000 views. And I've been hooked.
Yeah.
I was dressing up as Tiger King, like the whole bit.
Right.
Yeah.
You got it because you got in just as it was hot, like initially hot.
It was like red hot. Yeah. Like it
people
was.
some people
like
didn't
I'm
know
a
what
savage.
it was.
You know what I'm like? It
right.
was like,
yes.
Yeah. Like
the
it
old
was the
school,
moment.
the days of TikTok.
Holly was there too. Holly was there since 2019.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was that first video that got you 100K?
I said,
never forget your first.
I said, here's my dog Maui, who's literally on the couch behind me. There's both my dogs.
Oh, there he is.
Maui and Kaya. And Maui's the basset hound.
Dad too.
Oh yeah. And Maui, she was literally laying on the couch. I'm like, she can hear a bag of chips from a mile away. And so I walked to another room and just crinkled an empty bag and she came running up the stairs from dead asleep. So that was it.
So cute.
But I started to notice that the way the algorithm was working, that it was really showing me things that I was interested in more than the dancing videos and things that made me self-conscious to have to post. And so I got excited about that. And I moved back to Sarasota, got another I got a personal chef job where I was working in home for an older couple, cooking for them 3 meals a day, doing their grocery shopping and everything.
Right.
But when I was grocery shopping, I was plant shopping too.
Oh,
yeah,
dog.
And because I've started to really get into houseplants. I was like I decided I was going to set roots, like literally,
right.
The uncertainty of the world. I want to be close to fam, whatever. And I had always wanted to do this entrepreneurship certificate program at the community college here. And so I decided to do it. One of the last final projects of one of my classes was to create this very extensive business plan, which I had written one for this tapas restaurant that had like a lifestyle brand attached to it because it was going to be like a surf shop tapas restaurant.
That's cool. That's very cool.
Thanks. I just rewrote it, took off all the food components and rewrote it to what Market Botany is now. And literally announced a launch. Didn't have any money. I had $30. I spent it on the website builder. And, and then I didn't have any product, but I claimed that I did. This is like real inside information.
No, you have lie to win. Sure. Lie to win.
Awesome.
Seriously. And then so what I did is I came up with this idea where I sold early access passes. So I had 25 early access passes. I did a giveaway for one, and then the 25 of them sold out instantly for $50 each. And then I had starting capital to like buy my inventory. And on launch day, in the first 15 minutes, I like sold out, and I called my employer at the time, was like, hey, I have all these orders to pack. They kind of knew that I was like starting this, and I never went back. Never went back.
And they were nice about it.
Yeah. I just saw an ad on Craigslist that they're looking for a chef again, like a whole year or two later. So I guess
they're okay. They'll be fine.
They own banks. I probably was not allowed to, I don't know. They're fine.
We don't know which one and what really is a bank anyway. It's just a concept.
It's just a construct.
It's a construct. Hello.
Well, that is how Market Botany came to be. That is amazing.
That's crazy. Like,
that's so cool.
What do you think was the time frame from writing your business plan to launch?
So I wrote the business plan all through college. Like it was like my dream restaurant concept, right?
Oh, cute.
Yeah,
it was on the mind.
So this whole like lifestyle brand, like very community-based lifestyle brand, has been something I've been really developing since 2014.
Okay.
And but when it did the switch over to like plants exclusively, or like being a plant owner exclusively as the lifestyle, that was probably a 3-month period that I was like,
amazing.
Yeah, like switch it over.
You just went for it. I love that, because sometimes you just have to just do it, you know?
Yeah.
You know, like you just, you kind of figure it out as you go.
It's kind of what happened with me and Holly. Holly approached me, I think, in November, and our episodes started releasing in January. We started working on them January, February, but I think it was January. And it was this thing of like, I feel like with businesses in general, especially when you don't have capital, sometimes it's just like you need to put something out, because once people know about it, like, this is probably not healthy, but for me, it's like the shame or embarrassment of not continuing or seeing it through drives me to figure it out, you know?
And all of the value is in that attention in that moment.
For sure.
So you have to take advantage of it at whatever means necessary if you want what follows, you know? So you have to go for it.
Oh my gosh.
So how did you decide what products, aside from plants, because you have some amazing like bottled products and things like that, like
which we both have used. Thank you.
Could you go a little bit into, you don't have to share any secrets, but like your production process? Like, I just find that so interesting, and also just what you and why you decided to carry what you carry.
So the products that I carry, specifically the ones that I have now, are products that I was using on my own. Specifically the pest preventative and treatment spray, the neem oil spray, and the leaf shine are products that I was using on my own, and that I noticed I was getting a lot of questions about from people on social media about how to make them and where they could get them. So those were no-brainers. Prop Drops, which is a product that I developed after Market Botany's launch, was actually developed because of a need for myself, but then also for wholesalers who were asking for something different to kind of for that problem that new plant parents have, where they need a product that they trust specifically for propagation, because there's all the root growth hormones and different, hydroponic additives for stimulating growth, but nothing marketed directly to propagation, which has really become the popular word,
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
It's a buzzword for sure.
Propagating. Like, I'm propagating, even like you could say non-plant parents, they know the concept these days. So I just love the name too. Prop Drops. Like, it's so
it's
good.
so cute.
I trademarked it.
You did?
Yeah.
Good for you.
Well, yeah, Cam. Nice.
What was that like? Can we just get a quick business scoop for anyone that's interested in doing that and that has a brand or a concept?
Yeah, absolutely. So it was so much more less difficult than I anticipated. So I put in the application, which you can, if you go through LegalZoom, they're all of sorts of legal documents like that are business related, you can get to through your LegalZoom account. but I applied through there and did all the little things that they asked. But then someone called me from LegalZoom and actually made sure that it was detailed to like perfection. And then it can take up to a year for you to hear anything back. But I actually heard back in like 3 months that it was completely approved. And so it was super easy. It did cost me about $1,000,
but it's worth it, I'm
worth
sure.
it. Yeah, so worth it.
Yeah.
And
that's amazing.
I was gonna say, oh yeah, I think a lot of times too, like thinking, at least for me, this has happened where the thought of, to trademark something, you put it in your head as like this really difficult thing. But like you said, like it really wasn't that difficult. Like, so that's inspiring, you know?
There's like a difference between patenting and trademarking. So I can't patent it because it's all natural products and I'm not manipulating the actual ingredients in the bottle are all of natural derivative. I don't change them, manipulate them at all. So I could trademark the recipe and trademark the name. So those are things that are like intellectual property, I guess.
Right. Wow. Like it's not a eye cream or a vaccine. It's like, you know, so that's really cool. Oh my gosh. That's so exciting. And yeah, that's so good.
Yeah. Well, so I really
gives me ideas.
Yeah. I'm glad that it does. I'm so glad that it does. And I feel like I want people to know, or I try to put it out there as much as possible, that this has been such a huge learning curve for me. I am also here for like the business struggle tips, you know, like the startup.
Right.
Like,
for sure.
What did you need to do to get there? Because those things, like you hear so much about that. I make 8 figures and here's how you know what I'm like, yeah, sure you do. You also spent 8 figures, you know?
Right. Yeah. Like let's be honest with ourselves here.
Seriously.
Absolutely. Well, so I guess another business question. I'm really curious. So, Market Botany, for those listening, is a brand. As I think you said, you're making a nursery or building one. So, what is really the difference between a traditional plant shop and like a grower, or like, owning and working a nursery?
And do you grow yourself, or is it just an outdoor space that people can go to like a traditional nursery?
So my space that I have is a production nursery. So I do growing here, and I have now moved all of my production onto commercial properties. So I am able to have like customers on property, whereas prior I was on like residential property. And so for insurance reasons, I couldn't have customers there.
Right, that makes sense.
Yeah, so which is really cool. And I've actually moved directly across the street from a really great restaurant in town. So it's put me in a location where more people, I'm more visible basically, but I'm still a production nursery. So I'm not open day to day or have a set hour schedule like a brick and mortar retail store would.
Right.
And I am way more focused on the production of plants versus the aesthetic appearance of selling them, because my main like avenue for sales is through e-commerce.
Very cool. Do you?
That's really cool.
Thanks.
Yeah. When you look at Market Botany, do you see yourself, like, have you ever wanted to become more retail based, or is it feeling good to just focus on how they grow and making them ready for the people online?
So that is something that is a lot of people have asked me, and I have to constantly ask myself because it's an answer that's constantly changing.
It's a big commitment.
Yeah, and it is dependent on the industry completely. Like, how is it going to evolve over the next couple of years and then long term? I see the industry. If I see that it's going to be something that's going to be sticking around long term, especially since there's still people who are very interested post like pandemic,
COVID,
whatever. Yeah,
Panini.
Prometheus.
Yeah, exactly. And then there's still people who are like just beginning and who are just as interested. So I think it's going to stick around. So I think that there's going to need to be stores like as reputable as like Petland or Petco, because people are becoming like knowledgeable about pet names, just like a Labrador Retriever. It's just the fiddly fig, you know, now.
Yeah. Right.
Absolutely.
Market Botany could be of that equivalent someday, like a store that you could go to where you can trust every product under the roof, or it could be exclusively a plant care brand that is sold in stores similar to that, you know?
That's awesome. Yeah. That's and
Wow.
sometimes it is hard to even know for yourself what you see the vision of your brand is. I know for concrete, I'm like, okay, do I want e-commerce? Am I more brick and mortar? Or, so it's just really interesting. And like, I think you have to ask yourself that often, and it's okay to pivot and change your mind is what I'm telling myself.
Exactly. It is essential to pivot, because if you determine that you are supposed to be one thing forever, then there's a for sure end date, right? Like we have
Yes.
to be malleable. There's no way to exist otherwise. We can see that in the past, 2 years, that if you're not
Totally.
malleable, you break. you
For
know.
sure. For sure. You have to
Absolutely.
be willing to bend.
hmm
Do you have a
Wow.
favorite plant or plants or type of plant that you are growing? And like, is there one like through this, have you discovered just from as a collector versus a grower, are you seeing a difference in your feelings towards certain plants? I guess that's my
Oh yeah.
question.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
let us in. I want to
I think
know.
that for sure, for sure. And I want to know, like, if this lines up with any of y'all, but like
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
for or anyone who's listening, I guess. But the Monstera Deliciosa, I do not care how like cliche, lame, or just like run of the mill it is. Number one, it
Best
is
plant in
number
the
one.
world.
Yeah,
Fully
Such
agree.
good plants.
It's my if I could only have one
1000%.
plant in the world and I had to get rid of everything else, I would keep a deliciosa.
yeah,
It's my
I
favorite
think so
plant. There's one right
too.
there.
I think so too. I have a
Yeah.
tattoo on my thigh of a Deliciosa, and that was
Oh,
way pre, market botany, and it's just
Wow.
something I've
that's
always loved.
crazy.
Yeah,
I mean, the leaf shape itself is like such
So
a
good.
visual gateway for people liking plants, I think, because I
mhm.
mean, it just looks tropical, the fenestrations, like yeah, even more so than the fiddle leaf. And I know the fiddle leaf fig is like very extremely popular at this point, but I think something about a monstera just like really gets your attention.
Well, it's no
Yeah,
surprise. You go to like a Home Goods, a Marshalls, a Nordstrom, you go anywhere. And if there's something that's plant print, quote unquote, it's more than likely like you can safely bet that it's going to be a Monstera. So it's like
uh-huh.
it's the one plant that I think has infiltrated the masses. So people that don't even like plants, maybe they wear it on a shirt, like going to Hawaii or whatever,
Yeah.
like it's a Monstera.
Definitely. And don't you think that, like, not only does the leaf look regal and look impressive, but
For
it's a
sure.
lot of people's first success story. Like the first plant that they've
That's not
gotten,
a pothos.
that's not a
Yes.
pothos. It looks impressive and
Yeah.
it's
But it's so
healthy.
big.
It didn't take a lot of like extreme care, but it still looks good and it grew
Right.
really well for them. They got fenestrations. It's super exciting. It's the gateway plant. I think y'all
It
have mentioned that
increased
before.
So true. And
literally
Yeah.
also
weed.
the roots. I actually with the corn song, I did a parody of like it's Monstera, right? It has the juicy roots. Is it so true? Like, the
So
roots,
true.
oh my god, like total hashtag root porn, if you ask
Well,
me.
it's
hmm
one oh my
Ooh,
god. Like, I'll be looking at it on Monstera and I'm like, "It's time to repot." Think I'm probably gonna be sad when I get in there, and they're always the size of Canada. They're so big, and, like, it's one of those plants where because 'cause I'm having a thrips problem for the last few months, everyone knows at this point, and it's
I
just
have
the
some
one
advice for you, by the way. Well, whenever you're ready.
Oh,
I need like, literally, it's been so sad, but, like, that's the one plant where I'm like, "It's you and me, buddy." Like, it's just
Yeah.
like and it's not getting affected, knock on wood, and it's just, like, existing when everything else is like, "Meh," it's, like, melting like the Witch and Wizard of Oz, but that plant is, like, good, and it's just I think it reminds me that it's gonna be okay when it comes to a deliciosa.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
so
What's your
true.
advice? Give it to me
For
now.
the thrippies, well,
Yeah.
if they're in containers specifically, like this will work even better, especially if you
Okay.
can find a container, like a tote or like a plastic tub that you would use for storage.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
big enough to put a plant in, but you can use your bathtub too if you have one.
Yeah.
Drown them, drown the thrips, drown them.
Drown.
We've never talked about that, Holly. That's interesting.
They breathe air.
Drown how?
Drown
Water?
how?
What do I
Fill the
need?
tub with water and
Okay.
Okay.
drown them. Drown them.
Just let them
Because
suffocate and drown.
yeah,
And how do you know when they're
Wow.
dead? Like,
would
should I
like
give
when
them
you
an
would be
hour?
dead, like yeah, like when you would be dead and then some. just to be sure. But
when you can't breathe anymore, that's when the thrips can't breathe.
I mean, yeah, but then a little more because they're thrips, just to like stick it to them.
You guys, they're the zombies of pests.
Seriously,
no, for sure.
Especially because they get all in the wound up parts of the new growth. So like your application of like chemicals is not penetrating.
It's not getting to them.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the
drown them.
So it took about like 6 months for me to get rid of thrips. Like they take a long time sometimes. But I'm gonna try that, the drowning tip.
So like dummy proof this for me.
Okay.
So let's say I have a plant in like the one behind, like whatever, like a terracotta plant pot.
Mm-hmm.
Are you telling me to put the terracotta pot in a tub or in a storage container and just like, how high does the water go? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, totally. Like you're making tea. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
is the plant, should it be watering time? Because it sounds like it's going to get soaked.
So I would withhold from watering for a couple of days or longer, because you're about to like completely saturate, you're about to drown the plant as well. But your goal here is to stop any future damage from thrips. But so what you'll do is not water, drown them, and then any soil that is like lost because of replace it, and then just don't water for an excessive amount of time to let that soil dry out completely, prevent rot, and your thrips will be, you throw out that water somewhere like away, like gone.
My mind is blown right now. Like,
wow. I'm just trying to think for a big plant. Like, how do I just hold you under the water?
Pool. Get a pool.
Yeah.
A pool. Yes.
You obviously don't want to do like chlorinated water or anything like that, but I think it may work really well to add an insecticidal soap to the water that you're dunking in.
Makes sense.
Treating all of the soil, treating every nook and cranny.
Yeah, for sure. Wow.
This is like
that's
awesome. It's like when Hugh Jackman goes into that tub thing and becomes Wolverine. It's like he could die, but if he doesn't, he's gonna have shears for hands. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. It's already going to die. Might as well like Hail Mary.
Make it fun.
Drown it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
I'm really in shock because Holly, I've gotten a lot of tips over the last few months and a lot of them are repeats.
This is pretty cool.
No wonder
you can't set them on fire, right? And keep the plant alive, but you can drown them.
That's crazy.
Okay. You heard it here, people.
That's a Boozy exclusive.
Boozy exclusive.
Oh man. Well, speaking of Boozy exclusives, is there anything coming up, Cameron? Anything we can expect from Market Botany? Because we know that the future is bright. So do you have anything that you want to talk about? And just give it to us.
Oh my goodness. I'm so glad you asked. This is seriously something that means so much to me. And I cannot believe that I'm like personally get this opportunity to like participate in this thing. But Market Botany as a company has this insane chance. I'll kind of tell you a little bit about it.
Okay.
So cool. I briefly mentioned about how, Market Botany could become exclusively a plant care brand as far as scaling the brand for the future. Because just doing this in my backyard, it can only become so much. I'm only capable of so much.
Right.
If I want to do this long term. So I, with targeted ads, you never know what's going to hit your screen, right? And I'm scrolling on Instagram one day and I saw an ad from Lowe's, the home improvement store, of course.
The Lowe's.
The
blue one.
Yeah, the blue one. And they are hosting their very first annual event called Into the Blue, which is an event where all entrepreneurs, all businesses of any size from the only thing you don't want to be is an idea. You want to have something that's already got some momentum behind it. But it doesn't have to be a brand per se. It can be a product, it can be an invention.
Right.
And you apply with these inventions or apply with these brands, products, things like that, with the hopes of being chosen to come to this Into the Blue event in Charlotte, North Carolina at this brand new center complex place that Lowe's has built that is specifically meant for like product development and
very cool.
and research and things like that. So at this event, all of the people who have been chosen get to pitch their product or their brand to Lowe's executives, to manufacturers, and then there's networking opportunities and things like that. And I've just found out that Market Botany has been chosen. So in November, yeah.
Congratulations!
Thank you so much.
Oh my God!
Seriously,
huge.
When is it? Can we know?
Yeah, absolutely. The actual weekend is the first weekend in November. So November like 2nd and 3rd, I will be in North Carolina pitching prop drops and the neem oil solution and the leaf shine spray to Lowe's to hopefully get it into stores across the nation and on their online store.
Wow.
So like in like a month or so.
Yeah.
Wow, based on when this drops. Wow.
So yeah, that is when the actual, so this is like total Shark Tank moment, but for Lowe's specifically. It's awesome. They're trying to really create a break in the way things have been for so long, where it actually gives entrepreneurs, like small businesses, an opportunity to not have those connections that you need to get into a store like that and do it and you know, be in front of the people you need to.
Kudos.
That's so crazy that I could like
Agreed.
It's just crazy that I could go 5 minutes away because mine is super close. And in theory, I can see my friend's brand on a shelf like that. When, not if, when that happens,
thank you.
I'm going to pass out. I'm going to take so many selfies.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
Some like old, like Nana is going to pass by, like trying to buy her like plants or whatever. I'm going to be like, I know this guy. And she's going to be like, okay. But like,
literally.
I know this. I know Market Botany.
You may be
buy
noticing
this one.
Seriously, you may be noticing that I'm posting a little bit more advertising the products in the next couple of weeks than I usually do, and like more direct advertisements versus like integrated advertisements where I'm just using the product in a piece of content.
Right.
So like engage with those because that could really make a difference. You know,
for anyone listening,
Lowe's will probably
that's
see.
a huge deal. If you see a creator or someone that you love, either post an ad, someone that they're working with, or a product that they've developed, like you guys, even if it gets annoying, even if it feels like salesy, just interact with those type of content because it really does so much for not only just like your creator friend that you like, but for the industry as a whole, as like influencers or small businesses, you know, like showing bigger brands that, hey, this stuff actually works as far as like, you know, like online and marketing and all this stuff. Like it's a big deal. So all that to say, you guys, if you see your creator friends posting an ad, just interact with it. It goes a long way.
Literally,
it does
just
go
tap
an
twice.
incredibly long way.
Yep. Don't skip your ads.
Tap twice, and if you got the time, literally just like send, like type in fire emojis, because comments I think are huge too for like the algorithm, just to see that there's so much engagement, you know.
1000%.
Yeah, so very, very exciting, and I will keep y'all posted on the future, but very excited to like put that out there that it's actually happening, because I mean, I only got the email like 2 days ago.
So this is like very fresh news.
Yeah.
Wow, Cam, we're so excited for you. I can't wait to watch. I know you're gonna have the vlogs. You're gonna have a good, because you always do. You always have the best like vlogs. So
yes, are you gonna bring like a full setup and everything to the event?
So I have to see what it is allowed, but I'm gonna reach out because I want to make some like pre-content about that, getting the hype up, to kind of use that as an incentive, or like as part of my spiel, is like, look,
your presentation.
I can produce this content like for a brand that could be in Lowe's, you know what I mean? Like, and because I want to include the message of building community, and that the target market already shops at Lowe's, you know, so we're not targeting new people. We're just placing it something more easily accessible. Yeah.
Right.
So,
that's really cool.
Wow. Does Lowe's have like, do they have a TikTok? or on Instagram? Like,
They
are they
sure
using
do.
it?
Yeah, they
Is
sure
it
do.
good? Like, is it actually like building, or do they just, it's like, you know what I mean? Like, I wonder, because I've seen a lot of big box stores do that, and I just wonder if theirs is engaging, because I wonder if it could use growth, no pun intended. I feel like that part of your pitch will be so effective, you know?
Well, I would love to be able to critique. I think they do a fantastic job. I think it's also incredibly difficult for a brand with any kind of large reputation to have a platform even remotely
Right.
similar to a creator's,
It's so
because there's
big.
no human involved. And
Right.
that's exactly what TikTok is meant for, is creating a closer connection between two people,
For
and a
Yep.
sure.
community. And so without a face involved, it's harder to create content that is not an advertisement at all. You know what I mean?
Doesn't feel
Yeah.
dry.
Mm-hmm.
Because you
So
know when you're being like added to, you know what I
as soon as
mean?
you see the logo, unfortunately,
Yeah,
you
I
know.
get that.
Right. Or
But then
any
you
like little sponsored thing at the bottom left corner. I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, it's an ad, but
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 that's
again, if
when
you
like
see
but that's when I think like psychology plays such a good part in marketing. Like if you see what Google has done, like anytime Super Bowl comes around and the Google releases their commercial,
Mhm.
I'm bawling. Like they are just pushing to the pathos. And it's like, you know, that's the biggest, one of the biggest brands in the world, arguably the biggest brand in the world. And it's
Right.
like, but like you're still making me cry. So like I feel like it's definitely, there's a way to break through that, but it is a challenge when you're so big and you have so many different brands under your umbrella brand.
Mhm.
So to make that feel genuine and feel focused towards its market, I imagine is quite a challenge, but super not impossible, you know?
Definitely, definitely. And I think that's the exciting thing to watch for the future, is how certain brands adapt, right?
Yeah,
Like how
Right.
they act, because it's going to determine where the consumer spends their money, because
for
we
sure.
are gripping our money tight these days, I promise you.
Hello.
No, for sure. I feel like too, same thing with like, I don't know, you look at Target and they have a lot of artists that they'll, whether it be for Pride Month or Black History Month, they'll feature artists and put it on like a backpack, or you know what I'm saying? So I think maybe we'll start to see more of that, as far as like bigger brands trying to raise up smaller voices or just smaller businesses, like what
Mhm.
Lowe's is doing with the whole Shark
Exactly.
Tank thing. So I think that would be so cool, because I know, like, if I go to Target or even to Lowe's and I see that this pot was designed by like a smaller brand, I'm like, oh, that's cool. It's not just like your plain flower pot or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
So I
And we
think
saw
that's
that at Target with like Hilton Carter,
For
like,
sure. For sure.
exactly,
yeah,
exactly. Yes,
yeah.
that's so true.
And
So I think
Joanna Gaines. I mean,
Yeah.
it's so much easier for the consumer to spend money when they know the story behind where their money's going,
Because it hits
you know?
you.
Yeah.
100%. Who is the
You
girl,
guys.
the cupcake, deodorant? I'm blanking on her name. I
Cupcake
think it's
deodorant?
yeah,
Native
it was like
deodorant?
Oh,
yeah,
native,
so
native. I thought you were saying
it's
she was
native.
native. Oh,
No, no, no. The brand
yes,
Native,
the
and they did a collaboration.
aluminum free.
Yeah, I'm blanking on her name though, but she is really popular for the tie-dye rainbow cupcakes. Anyways, so just alongside that is like
Awesome.
collaborations with people
Mhm.
that you know their story of. So
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
You guys, Home Depot must be pissed. That's all I'm saying. Like, what? This is so cool. I'm so happy for you.
Thank
I
you so much.
did oh my god, I remember my question. I was really excited to ask you. I know we got to wrap up soon. We got a few more quick things, but I wanted to know, what is your relationship with food now that plants have been a priority? And so two-parter, do you grow veggies, and also what's your relationship with food? Because I'm the type of person where like I'm going, as people are listening, I'm currently in Europe, and for
Woo.
me it's like we're going to
Oh,
Paris, we're
what?
going to
That
London,
just
and
blew
it's
my
like
mind.
I leave in like a week. So it's crazy. But
I
like
know.
it's for me though, I'm talking to my boyfriend and I'm like, I want to spend all our money on food. I don't care what we bring back. Like that's my passion. I love food.
I
So yeah.
Nice.
see. I am obsessed with
Yes.
food.
Love it.
But not having to cook as a profession, I have found that I'm cooking for myself a lot less, because I'm like, hallelujah, I don't have to cook, or do the
Right.
dishes.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that I don't have, or that I've lost any of my taste for cuisine. You know, like I
Right, of
still
course. You don't
love to
lose
wine and
that.
dine. Yeah.
Right.
But for myself, like, best believe I will eat a whole 24 pack of chocolate chip cookies for dinner. You know,
Hello.
like, hello.
Sometimes it's just that kind of night.
Yeah, and like I live alone, and so nobody can tell me like what to do. So I'm eating a lot
Good.
of
Oh,
cookies.
that is the
Right.
best.
But I do grow a lot of vegetables. Right now I have like all kinds of different variety of kale, collard greens, okra. I'm growing chickpeas,
Ooh.
tomatillos, lots of different peppers, a couple different
Your own
squashes,
salsas.
grapes. Oh yeah, I have a salsa verde garden, a whole box that's
Oh
committed to
my
salsa verde.
gosh. Cam,
thought it
I'm
would
gonna
be
need your
funny.
number to talk about gardening in Florida
You
because
guys are so
it's like,
close.
Yeah.
yeah, I need all the tips because it's different from
Do you know what
California
zone you are?
seasons.
What do you know
It's
what growing zone?
9B.
Me
Growing
too.
zone 9?
Perfect.
Okay,
Perfect.
sweet.
Yeah. Perfect.
Okay. We'll talk
Amazing.
after.
Because Holly's been
Definitely.
growing some veggies in her
I have,
farm stand.
so I have the Lettuce Grow farm stand and I have a few garden beds too. And yeah, so far kale has been like the best thing to grow.
Oh yeah.
Not to go on a tangent, but zucchini does well, but they get powdery mildew so quickly. I think because of the humidity and stuff. But yeah, so I love it though. I love
Oh, I
growing my
can't
own
wait to
food.
talk tips, to talk gardening tips together.
Yes. Oh my God. Okay. We'll do a
Ooh.
part 2 of just like growing in Florida, maybe.
That'd be really cool. We should talk about that.
For real. Or we could create some content if you want to hit me up. You know, I'm originally driving it.
Sounds good to me.
Are you going to the Air Raid show?
I don't know if I am. I went
I keep
last
telling
year.
people I am.
Are you going?
I keep telling people I am because I have wishful thinking about going, but I have not even bought a ticket. To be honest, I'm telling everyone the truth right now. I'm sorry.
Well,
That's
when is
okay.
it? I feel like they'll be hearing this after the fact, won't they?
Month. It's at the end of this month, right?
Which is basically tomorrow. I don't know.
It might be tomorrow, guys. We're figuring it out.
What? By the time people are listening, it might be over.
But
I love that.
But I like that you guys don't know and we don't know.
It was so good to see everyone there.
It was so good to see you, Cameron, at the Air Raid show.
Your shirt was so cute.
Now I have to wear a cute shirt.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Gosh,
I love that you bought an oblique while you were there too.
I don't have an oblique yet. So that was a great buy, Cam.
I'm broke now. It's great.
It was $50. It was $50.
It was yes.
Drop
it was
a name. Drop a name.
For $50. Great deal.
Cam, what's your favorite genus?
Oh crap. Okay.
We had to get you when you were loose and not expecting it.
Philodendron all day long.
Ooh, yeah.
I don't even care. I don't even care. I don't even philodendron all day long. Sorry. You know what I mean?
Don't at me, you know?
Yeah, like perfect propagation. Insane leaves.
Monstera deliciosa can be considered a philodendron in this category because they do propagate so easily.
Yeah, and like that was my little pull, was that I was going to say Monstera, but I think that the genus is so much smaller.
For sure. And it's not really, people don't know as much about it as they do philodendron.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Nice.
So I'm philodendron. I am a philodendron. So
you are.
Then going off of that, Cam, I know I sort of touched on this quickly, but if you, to finish us off, if you could only own one plant for the rest of your life, which one would it be?
Oh, is this the only plant? I'm sorry, this is a really hard one.
It's really hard. You can or your top 3 if you can only have 3 left in the entire world.
But there's plants in the world. I can just own only 3, like in my.
Oh, that's a good loophole. Yeah, you can never you'll go to Lowe's and try to touch a plant and your hand will bounce back if you try to buy it. Like you can.
Well, aside from Mark Botany, just Cam's personal collection.
Just my personal.
Yeah, you can still grow. You can still have your business.
You can still make a living.
They just
I was thinking I need algae to eat or something because the world.
No, you can eat still. You can still eat food.
It's a hobby.
I would have 3 plants ever that only 3 I could own. Let's see, Squamiferum.
Okay,
that's a good one.
Monstera deliciosa, and Okay, no, I'm taking Squammy off. Sorry, Squammy. I'm changing it to Florida because I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed.
So beautiful.
Florida,
And then
and which
maybe
is Squammy's baby or whatever the heck. But
I don't know how that works, but yeah. And maybe
uh,
you get a variegated one. So then you'd have like the fun of like, what is the new leaf gonna look like, you know?
yeah,
You're
Do
like,
I want
no.
to variegated in the well? Okay, so Monstera deliciosa. If I can only pick one, Monstera deliciosa, Philodendron Florida, and I'm gonna go Philodendron Jerryhorn as my number 3.
Ooh, that was unexpected. Cool.
Yeah, and well, I guess it's 2 Philodendron. Whatever. Yeah.
Live your life.
Nice.
Mic drop.
That's it.
That was really hard.
That's really hard.
It is hard.
Cam, thank you so much for coming on to Boozy. This has been a dream come true. You're so wonderful.
Thank you so much. I am so glad we got to do this too, and I hope we talk more often, okay?
Oh my God, of course, please. And I really want to come to Florida between like now and a couple months to 6 months to more, depending on my life. But I want to come soon. And I was telling Holly, I was like, we definitely need to find a way to be all together. I know she's a little far from you, but we're going to figure it out.
Well, but she's close enough. Like that is, I'm going to get to you.
If you're looking at the 50 states as a whole, we're pretty close.
Also, we should just do like a beach day in Sarasota because you guys have the best beaches.
Yeah, and it's way more chill than your coast for sure.
That would be so fun.
Maybe.
Are you close to Miami? Or are you closer to like?
So basically, I am just south of Daytona.
Oh, okay,
that's New Smyrna Beach, the shark bite capital of the world.
That's all right.
Yeah, I want to go to Sarasota.
Come on over.
Holly, I'll meet you there. Don't bring the sharks.
Okay, I won't.
We can go to Siesta Key.
Oh, Siesta Key. That's right.
Yeah.
You guys. So I remember, if you guys remember a few episodes back, I stayed at the Ritz-Carlton in Sarasota for my 30th.
I worked there.
You worked there? Wait,
you
as a chef
now?
No, I worked there
in the
like back when I was a chef. Yeah.
Oh,
that's so cool.
It was awesome. Anywho. Well, Cameron,
where can the people find?
Where can the people find you? Yes.
Oh my
gosh. If they don't know already, hello, but
so my name is Cameron. A lot of people think it's Mark because of my handle, Market Botany.
Oh, how funny!
Yeah, I made a shirt that says not Mark because I go to events and they're like Mark, not Mark. Anyway, I am Market Botany on every platform that I'm active on, and my website is www.marketbotany.com.
Perfect.
So Google me.
Amazing.
Thank y'all so much.
Do you have any specific drop dates for content, or do you just post as you go?
Oh, thank you for asking. I actually do live sales every Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern time, live on TikTok.
6 p.m. Pacific.
Yep.
That's perfect. Amazing. Awesome. Yay. Well, Cam, thank you so much for coming on the show. We love you. Come back whenever you want.
Awesome.
And you guys, on that note,
cheers.
Cheers.